and welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, Alex G, and with me, as always, is my longtime tag team partner, Matt Riley. How you doing tonight, Matt?
Give me the hot tag! Tag me in, brother! There you go.
And tonight, it's a very special episode. We're going to do a IWAR cycle in review. And we're going to start off with the BRL. So, Matt, tell me about all the fantastic things happening in the BRL last cycle.
Well, BRL number 480 was a exceptionally fun issue. Our league champion, third time, is Senor Lucha, who took home $50 in IWA credit because don't forget the BRL is an IWA credit league, which means you get essentially IWA cash to use as you wish in the IWA. Poor money-driven Mike Sebastian was a huge star in the MML, but he could never win the league title. He must have had 10 TV titles. He was always the bridesmaid, never the bride. So once again, it was funny. He actually emailed me when I sent him out the results, and he was like, "What the hell?" So one more time, he's a TV champion. Senor Lucha, by the way, sometimes better be lucky than good, had a 495 strategy while other guys crapped out. He didn't have one of those huge win strategies, but it was enough.
Good enough.
Yeah, and then regionally we had some new faces. Keith Scott took a title, Jimmy Henchman, some of the Kardashians, the EMC crew. A few players came in with like 12 guys and trying to flood the league and try to take titles. Took them 5 months, I think, but they got some regionals.
Very nice. House
of Adam Cash and Fatty the Butcher, Blood Money, took their 7th BRL Tag Team Championship with a 514. The six-man titles, interestingly enough, Moon Warrior, Midnight Warrior, and Shadow Warrior, their 7th time as six-man champions.
Wow.
Yeah, they actually haven't had the belts. I think it was like 2012 or 11 when the last time they had the belts. They left the league. I'm not quite sure who runs them, but it's Edge, so it could be a number of people. So that was, title-wise, kind of speaking of that. As far as league events go in the league, Jane the Vixen Red won the Battle Royal. And one of the things that's a good way to a barometer of how tough a league is if you win the Battle Royal and you don't win a vacant title, that's tough.
That's really rough.
So I felt bad because that's a nice thing to win, but it's like, oh man. And again, always enter your league battle royal because that's the exception, not the rule. Most of the time, you're going to win the battle royal and you're going to get bumped into an empty, vacant regional title. Not the case for Jane Red. Serves her right. Where's my sandwich? Now, in other BRL news, the way we have those TV title system processes with the BRL Impact TV show and the BRL Genesis, the champions defend their belts over 3 cycles. This cycle was the 3rd cycle in the 2nd series. So there was the first series of 3 matches, the 2nd series of 3 matches, and in the end, the first big upset news was Senor Lucha defeated Sir Gunter Kinderwacht, who was I think he had 13 cycles as champion. The record, by the way, held by Robert Van Damage, 15 cycles. Damn close to tying it. So Lucha's now the champion. He will defend against Ghost Lee Shadows, who had the highest score on the Impact show. One reminder, of course, is that if you are competing in these events, one, if you're responsible for sending the match, make sure you send it in. But if your wrestler finishes with the highest score on either TV show, highest score of both combined competitions, you win 5 free matches. So it kind of can pay off in a way. Tag Team Champions, Numbers, the Global Tag Team Champions, were defeated by Suburban Hell Savages, Agent 26, and Punk Rock Mike, who came over from the ASL, highly touted, great trash talk, good team, and they took the titles. And they will defend against Blood Money, so that should be an interesting competition right there, and 2 top teams battle for the belts. And one thing I want to stress is in the BRL, we really value trash talk. So if you're in the TV system, so if you're in BRL Impact, if you're in BRL Genesis, if you send in trash talk for your wrestler, it could be an attack, could be anything you want really, you get 20 points towards your score for that. So those 20 points, if you will, really made the difference in the Numbers Suburban Hell Savage series because Suburban Hell Savages sent in trash talk every cycle. Numbers did not. So in the end, even though Numbers won 2 of the 3 matches, the score overall fell in favor of Agent 26 and Punk Rock Mike, who are the champions. So remember, folks, send in your trash talk. Finally, as far as commissioner belts go, Mad Dog Dick Jackson defeated El Barbaro to take the Intercontinental title. And in a bit of breaking BRL news, you're getting it hot off the presses before it even hits the website. The BRL will be sanctioning the Canadian Championship with a Canadian title on a pole match at Imagine Bash this summer in 2 months. It'll be a match with anyone who wants to be involved can be in it. The way we'll determine the winner is whoever has, of the wrestlers entered in this event, whoever has the highest amount of money earned in the Battle Royal will be the new champion. For gameplay sake, it's going to be a thing where whoever walks out of the building is the champion. So if you walk out with a belt, you take it off the pole and get out of the building, you win the title. We decided to sanction this belt because a lot of players were talking about this title. It came from the NWL, and it kind of came over, and it was vacated. They filled it up, and Jimmy North had the belt. Then he got taken out, and a lot of guys kept talking about it. So we're like, hey, let's give these guys something to fight over. So for now, it'll be filled soon, but once it's filled, it will defend it on BRL Genesis. So that's kind of the title news, if you will. As far as other news goes, there's some new faces, but really I think we'll let the recap kind of just stick to the titles for now and events. As far as Murano goes, the team from the BRL will be determined. It'll be team pitting. The Murano final for the BRL bracket will pit El Barbaro and the Saskatchewan Sasquatch against numbers 1 and 3. So the defending champions, numbers 1 and 3, look to repeat as they face the young but dangerous duo. How about going over to the Continental Wrestling League?
So I can go over titles real quick since I have them up. In terms of the championships, on the front page, you have the Unified, Ethereal Guardian, once again, league champion. Streaming Media champion, Barry USA Stevens. United States, Power Jack. Yukon, Big Joe. Caribbean, Doug Gavilon. Amazon Basin, battling Brian Kelly. British Isles, Problem Child, who is a former NWL graduate, by the way. Arabian, Hazard. South African, Alex Johnson. Siberian, John Body. East Asian, Harry Hoodstar. Oceanic, Railroad Warrior Ty. Your unified tag team champions are Black Predator and Silverback Jack. Streaming Media tag titles are Gordy Goodwood and John Body. Your six-mans are the Forgotten Vagrant, Wildcard Garrett Shadowstar, David Hammerhead. And your Streaming Media six-man champions are Railroad Warrior Hammer, Ty, and Spike. So I think one of the notable things in terms of the CWL was the debut of Mike Mason, former member of Revolution X, who has debuted as the ally of Clark Piedmont. Interested to see how that kind of story unfolds. I'm really excited about that. Mm-hmm. Anything else in the CWL that they had going on?
I would say news-wise, a couple of things. One, Black Predator and Silverback Jack retained the tag titles. And not only did they retain them, but they beat the Von Schnapp brothers to advance to the Murano Memorial Tournament, where they will face Clyde Cosworth and Koenig in that CWL final. And not only that, but the match was inside a cage, and it was for the IWAR World Tag Team Championships. So, Silverback Jack and Black Predator, what are part of a team called Black Wrestlers Matter, have been on a tear, and the Von Schnapps could not find a way to beat them, and they are on top of the world, so to speak.
All right, fantastic. So next up, we have the IWL. Quickly review their champions. We have your league champion, Shotgun James Carnage. TV champion, Creed Michaels. Appalachian champion, Crazy Carl. Coastal States, Vicious Vincent Payne. Deep South, Chris Endgame. Great Lakes, the Great Equalizer, Marlon Briggs. Great Plains, Black Jack Robertson. Gulf Coast, TJ Shocker. Mississippi Valley, Van Death Valen. Pacific States, Cowboy Jim Spur.
Hell yeah!
Rocky Mountain, Craven Cross. Sunbelt, Senior Lucha.
Olé.
Tag Team, Death Van Valen and the Shadow, Tony Lowen. TV Tag, Frosty Knuckles and TJ Shocker. Six-man, you got James Carnage, Black Jack Robertson, and Jesse Tombstone. And the TV six-man champions, you have the kinship of Liam Larkin, Koenig, and Great David. So I think the big storyline currently going on in the IWL is the Empire Chaos versus Revolution X war.
Yes.
Seems like they've chosen the IWL as the front lines of this great and massive battle. Can't wait to see what happens here on out. I think it's going to be an exciting thing for the IWL to have a storyline that can potentially have everyone involved.
No, I was going to say, I think it's kind of a fun aspect of that particular angle. So
Again, read your trash talk of that in that league. You see some really violent, entertaining things. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but if you haven't read it, if you haven't read it already, please go back and read it. We're putting people in the hospital. People are getting beat up and bloody. It's going to be pretty intense going forward, I think.
Well, I think the big news, if you want outside of the title, was the Wrestle Riot 3 Fallout.
Yes.
Where, of course, the Regulators retained their tag title. Creed Michaels took the American, what's it called? The American Territories title. I almost screwed that up. And the big news was the Bear, Sandy Francisco, the lovable loser, poor guy, pulled off the upset victory to defeat the champion, the Dungeon Master, Gregwood Snodgrass, and give Sandy his first IWL Heavyweight Championship. Now, because Snodgrass is a defending champion, when you held the belt there, if you defend the title 2 times, you get an automatic rematch. So he gets an automatic rematch this coming cycle.
Nice.
And for the sake of the IWAR World Championship, we waited to see who won the match between Sandy and Gregwood. Because Sandy won it, he gets the IWAR title shot this coming cycle. So he kind of has like a one-time shot. If he loses the belt, it can be kind of interesting. But theory being, if he loses the belt or lost to Snodgrass, he probably wouldn't win the IWAR title either. So, interesting doings. And then, of course, we have some controversial happenings. But unfortunately, there was an error, and the IWL trash talk for certain wrestlers got put in the BRL. So, there's some cliffhangers that'll show up in this coming issue you don't want to miss.
Very nice. Very nice. And last but definitely not least, the NWL. So in terms of champions, their league champion is the Patriot, who is currently undefeated. TV champion, we have Big Blank number 1. Atlantic, you have Johnny the Wrench Morello. Love that. Central, you have Neo Dragon. Dixie, you have Jared Smith. Eastern, you have Noah Smith. Mountain, you have Alpha Male XD. Northern, you have Stunning Tommy Gunn.
There he is.
Pacific, you have Blank. Not Blank, but Blank the wrestler, not Blank like it's no one there.
Right.
Prairie, you have Mike Mason. Southern, you have Matt Smith. Western, you have the highlight of the night, Johnny Vegas. Tag team, you have Big Blank number 1 and Big Blank number 2. TV, you have Alpha Male XD and the Patriot. Your 6-mans are also the Blanks. And your TV 6-man is B.A. Fox, Alpha Male XD, and the Patriot.
Damn.
So I think the big news coming out of the NWL is the departure of Mike Mason, who got a little too cocky and too big for his britches and was ceremonially dumped out of the NWL by Rock Simpson and also kicked out of Revolution X because of his unwinning ways.
Oh, no.
Yes. So he got beat down pretty good. In addition, in our NIT or National Invitation Tournament, we had Kenny Chaos advancing, CJ Smith advancing, Neo Dragon advancing, and Tommy Gunn advancing to the second round. We still have the fallout from the Johnny Vegas Dangerous Alliance breakup. The question on everyone's mind is the Dangerous Alliance breaking up. Well, we'll see about that. In addition, we like to congratulate Natalie Bowen and Blank. They are the finalists of the Four Corners tournament for the NWL. So congratulations and good luck going forward. And as a reminder, in the month of July, we have our next pay-per-view, Beantown Brawl, live from Fenway Park. The Beantown Brawl will feature a 3 versus 3 Green Monster Scaffold match. And right. The rules of this match is there are no rules. So the first team to throw all 3 members of the opposing team down to the field will win the match. Anything you want to add to the NWL?
I would mention that C.J. Smith was the winner of the 35th Willowwood Classic when he defeated Baron von Naismith. So
Nice.
C.J. Smith, the shot the Rising Star title, I think.
Yes, he will receive his shot against Rock Simpson this cycle coming up.
There you go.
So,
Rock Simpson, who's still bitter that Billy Jack Novak stole the remains of the trophy he smashed.
he's very upset.
Yeah. I would mention, we forgot, IWL-wise, the finalists for the IWL bracket would pit Luther Alexander against Crimson Grim.
Yes.
So that would be a big matchup there.
Huge matchup. So upcoming events are as follows.
IWAR-wide events include two big events. One is the second annual Ladder Match Battle Royal, which combines two elements of matches all wrestlers hate. It is Dangerous Ladder Match with Dangerous Battle Royal. And the winner of that earns a shot at the IWAR World Championship. But it is $2 per wrestler to enter. And the winners will be the final two wrestlers left in the ring. And they will split the prize money with the highest overall winner winning the title shot. Now, the way it works is, instead of it being a normal thing where, one cycle high strategy for 1 month, or one issue, if you will, gives you the win, this is going to be the total over 2 cycles. So whoever is the highest total strategy over 2 cycles is going to be the winner. Second event worth noting, which is starting 1 month away from now, is the third annual Johnny B. Cup. The Johnny B. Cup, named after the man that started the game, Johnny B. And it is $3 per wrestler, and this is a huge event, the biggest event in the IWAR each year. It is going to be set up with multiple brackets, and important to know that you can win if you finish in the top 4. So essentially, the finalists from all 4 leagues will win something. It goes from really, really big prizes down the way. But again, check out the latest issue of the IWAR, IWA Ringside Magazine, to learn more.
Coming to a newsstand near you.
That's right.
Alrighty, guys, that's all the time we have for the Tubecast. So we'll definitely see you next time here on the IWAR Network Tubecast.